How you doing, everybody? I'm Jim. I'm here with Catch Feeder, and I'm joined today by
Phil.
Phil.
Good to see you, Jim.
Hey, Phil. So, I was asked to make this video because a lot of potential new hires are going to be watching this.
Correct.
So, you know that brochure that we give out, we send to the schools and stuff. We're going to add this video to that, and we want to talk about the on-call process.
Right.
Now, you're well aware of it.
Yep.
I'm well aware of it. You went through it 25 years ago or whatever it was. 20 years ago. I went through it about 13 years ago.
Sure.
I knew what I was getting into because I had come from another large union carrier that also had an on-call process. So before someone gets here, they're going to go through the hiring process. Then they're going to go through 2 weeks of training with a specialist, a trainer specialist.
Right.
And then they're going to do 1 week of mentoring training with someone like you or me out on the road doing our runs with us.
Shadowing that driver for
What
1 week.
happens after that? So that's 3 weeks of training.
Right. Then you're going to be on call, which means you're waiting in seniority order.
Correct.
For someone that either calls in sick or an extra run, or maybe someone has to go on RLO, like they get injured, and that run still needs to go out. So we need someone to cover it. Now, the next person up on the seniority list is going to get a phone call, come into work and cover that run.
Right.
You don't know when that is. You don't know where you're going. It's a little bit difficult, okay?
It's intimidating. I knew what it was about before I even put in an application for UPS. Like I said, I came from a very large union carrier before I came here, and they used the same process. So I knew what I was in for. But a lot of people don't know what the
they don't understand it.
Is.
The other aspect to it is that when you're first starting out, like I said, it's all by seniority. So you're kind of on the bottom, or you are on the bottom of that seniority list.
Right.
That list resets every night at midnight.
At midnight, correct.
So it's not a wheel that goes around until the last person works, unfortunately for the people on the bottom. But if you're on the top, you're going to get called often, every day.
They call it a hog board. If you've been in this business long enough, it's basically called a hog board.
Right.
So that means by seniority order, they call the drivers in. But at midnight, if you are number 30 on the list and you're the next person to be called at 11:59 p.m. and you don't get a call, right at midnight, it resets, and the first guy that went out, let's say on a Monday, is now going to be the first guy that goes.
The next guy that has hours available will get called.
Correct. Yeah. I knew it. I did it. It's rough in the beginning.
It is.
The economy has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Phil, you go back 3 years. We were hiring people. They did their 2 weeks, and then the 1 week with a driver, and then that following Monday, they were put in one of these.
They might have been with the team.
And they were on their way to California, wherever they were going, and they never looked back. Rewind, or I should say fast forward to now, the economy's not in the best of shape.
Yeah.
We still got to cover vacations. We still got to cover guys that get sick, guys that get injured, and so on and so forth. Sometimes we do have spikes in volume.
Yep.
And that's where the on-call board comes in. Okay? So, if you come to UPS, you're not, depending on how things are going, you may or may not get in the sleepers immediately.
Right.
Okay? We're in an election year. A lot of times things change during an election year. Depending on who gets in, consumer sentiment goes up, the economy starts taking off again, and next thing you know,
people start spending money.
People start spending money, and the packages are, coming through here at a rapid pace, and we can't keep up with the rate of hiring people for the volume that we need to move.
Right.
So what would you recommend to someone who's thinking about coming to UPS?
Be certain that you have the financial wherewithal to maybe only get called once a week, maybe twice a week at the most.
Yep. That's what it was for me.
You have some savings behind you that you could do that. UPS doesn't want people to have a second job, but maybe you're going to need to do something on the side.
See, when I took this job, I told my wife, I said, no unneeded expenses.
Right.
We're not eating out anymore. We're just hunkering down and tightening the belt because I need to survive these first few months or however long it was going to take before I was working 4 or 5 days a week.
Right.
Okay. Again, life is all about timing, and depending on when you come to UPS, it could be cranking or it could be quiet. Right now it's quiet.
It's a little bit quiet.
So if you do come here, you recommend that, you know what, have a little bit of money in the bank.
Sure.
Be prepared. If you're up to your neck in debt, I don't know, I'd be a little careful. I'd be a little weary. Either that or try to ask people, maybe if you know someone that works here, are you guys busy yet? Are you busy? Because right now, I mean, the volume's not there.
Right.
You know, and it's not us. It's everyone in the transportation.
It's industry-wide.
It's quiet right now. So you're not going to come in here and start cranking right away. It's just a reality of working for UPS. These are very, very high-paying jobs, and people wait in line, and it's not just going to come, okay, you're hired on a Monday, training, you're done with training, and you're going to get a 6 a.m. bid driving 3,000 miles a week. It unfortunately, with a company this big, it just doesn't work like that.
Now, on the other hand, if you do get the opportunity and you get to cover a team for whatever, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it may be, to cover vacation or day off, whatever it is, for another driver, that you're going to have to cover that for the whole week. Do a good job. On Fridays in our mentoring class, we call that audition time.
It's audition time, because if that driver likes you,
they're going to recommend you to other drivers.
Hey, I had a guy that subbed for me while my partner was on vacation or whatever. This guy is awesome. This girl is awesome.
Right.
Use this driver.
They kept on schedule.
Word of mouth gets out.
Right. They kept me asleep, because while you're driving, somebody's back here sleeping, and then in 10 hours you're going to switch. You don't want to have to get back at that bunk and think, I didn't drive that good.
Yeah, a lot of this is word of mouth operation. We talk on call. You could be on call. Well, you could be. You will be on call
for both.
In the beginning, for both. So you will be on call for a sleeper run. They might say, hey, we got a run going out to California. We need you to come in.
Call you on a Thursday or Friday, leaving Monday or Tuesday of the next week.
You get the phone call for, it's a different part of the property. We call it downstairs, for the day cabs, the brown trucks. So that would be, drive from here to maybe Louisville, Kentucky,
and back.
Turn around and come back, and then you go home.
Right.
Some drivers say, I can't do that. I live 300 miles away from here. That's rough. You won't be able to do that. And then some guys say, well, I'll get a hotel. Well, you can't continue to do that. So you got to be very careful before you apply, and be prepared for what might be coming your way.
We just want everybody to be enlightened, and know what's in front of them.
You did it.
Yeah.
You knew what you were in for.
I did.
I did it. I did it. It was rough for me for maybe 5 months. It was rough for me.
Okay.
How about you? You remember?
I was fortunate, because when I came on, things were moving pretty good. And I was working 3, if not 4 or 5 days every week. And so I was fortunate in that respect, And I was on call for 2.5 years. And by the time I got a regular run, I was probably working 4 or 5 days a week on call. But again, you don't know where you're going, what you're doing day to day.
So let me ask you a question. Why are we making this video?
We want to tell the truth.
We want to tell the truth. Guys, be prepared. Girls, be prepared. You will be on call for sleepers, which means you'll be gone anywhere from 4 to 5 days. You will be on call for the day cabs, which means you'll get the phone call. You got 2 hours to get to work, and you could go down to, like, again, from Chicago to Louisville, Kentucky, and then back the same day. Okay? You might not get a call that day.
Right.
Okay? But just be aware that anybody you see driving a UPS tractor trailer, they've done it. We've all done it. And why did we do it? Because that I'm aware of, and I read a lot, you read a lot. I don't know any other outfits that are paying what UPS pays.
If you can get over the hump for the first 2 years or so, it's a good job to stick with.
It's a great job.
Yeah.
So maybe come in with the mindset, prepare for the worst, and hope for the best.
Right.
That's kind of what I did, because I knew I was going to be on call. And it was a little rough in the beginning. Lasted a few months.
That word prepare is pretty good.
One
more thing I want to add, Jim, is that we have an aging workforce. Okay, within the next 3 to 5 years, probably 100 people or more are going to be retiring. So all the people on the bottom are obviously going to be moving up.
Right.
So, like we said, if you stick with it, you will be rewarded.
Right. There is hope at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay. I know, probably seeing the video, some people may say no way, but again, You went through it, I went through it. We knew where we were getting into, and we're both sitting very, very good right now.
Yeah.
You're getting ready to retire here soon. I wish it was tomorrow. But
2 more years.
yeah, yeah, and you know what? 2 more years for you, and a handful of years after that for me. So
Right.
I will be gone too. And
So this seniority list is going to turn over.
And you have to understand, when you have a seniority list that is that big, it does turn over. People are retiring.
Yep.
People go.
Yep,
you know?
absolutely.
So have faith. If you think it's for you, you will be rewarded
Yep.
with a very lucrative job with excellent benefits and retirement, but not easy in the beginning.
No.
But if you come in with that mindset and you know that's what you're in for, it does get better, and you will have a great job and probably your last job.
Probably a good career.
Yes, you will.
Okay?
Right? Thanks,
Very
Bill.
good, Jim.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Have a good day.
Take care.